This episode, I'm just going to introduce the concept of meshes. So meshes are how the three-dimensional surface of a character gets created. And here I've got a face, and I've loaded it up into software called Blender. And the mesh is actually in 3 dimensions. Now, if I take the skin off for a moment and have a look at the wireframe underneath, you'll notice that it's all made up of triangles. And meshes are always made out of triangles. And it just happens to be that for every single triangle, you've got 3 points, and I can move those 3 points around in space, and it'll always be a flat triangle. So if I used squares, I'd have problems, because if I moved one of the points in 3-dimensional space, it may no longer be flat. So triangles are very useful here, because no matter what you do to a triangle, it's always got 3 points, and it'll always be flat. To then make it look like a character, there's a process of mapping a 2-dimensional image onto this 3-dimensional mesh of triangles. That process is called UV mapping. It's called UV because the U and the V is effectively the X and the Y coordinate of the original texture artwork, which is just a 2-dimensional image. You can imagine it much like if you were drawing on a balloon and you popped the balloon and had it out flat, you could draw a picture on it. If you then stretched that balloon with rubber over this wire mesh, it would stretch and map onto all these little triangles. And so that's the UV mapping. Now, these triangles might look, if you've played with Vroid Studio, you may notice that these triangles sort of look similar to the guidelines in Vroid. And basically, Vroid Studio has picked a subset of the lines here, and that are the guidelines. So they just didn't show all the triangles, as so many. You may also notice, if you look side on, there are things like this mesh, and this mesh, this part of the mesh here sticks out a bit. This is actually where the eyelashes are, and that's what makes the eyelashes stick out from the face. And we've got the ears and so forth. So Vroid creates 2 meshes per character. One is the face, and the other one is the rest of the body. And so I've just loaded up the face past here. I've thrown away the rest of the body. And so you can see it's one of the basic principles. It's very important to understand. I want to get it out of the way early on. Is the face is a 3-dimensional mesh, as is the body, of little triangles. And then you do this UV mapping of a texture, which is a 2-dimensional image like a PNG file, and it stretches it out over all these little triangles, ending up in your character with attractive looking artwork.